For our agenda for today, we have some key points about the Summer Academy, and we're going to have a very nice incentive. We're going to incentivize all teachers, but we have an extra incentive, and I'm going to show you like the main rules to be part of that incentive. And today we're going to create some groups or mock groups in the platform, so you guys can have practice students to participate in the activities, and you guys can gather data and see how it works for the students. So we're going to be, during the academy, you're going to be working as from the teacher mode and also from the student mode. So you can have, you can see how both ends work. And today we're going to be seeing how to create a personalized or a custom diagnostic test. And I'm going to present you with our challenge number 1 for the academy. So the key points for the academy, it's that meetings are every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. And I'm considering maybe, and that depends on you guys, maybe having a second session in the afternoon in case you can't participate in the 9:30 session. We can do a PM session in the afternoon so you can participate. If that works for you also, you can let me know in the chat. So I can consider opening a second session for you guys to join me in case you cannot be a part of the academy during the morning. A challenge is going to be presented on every meeting and discussed in the following meeting. So challenges are going to be short activities that you can do in the platform, and or that you can build in the platform. And each challenge is going to have some key or requirements or specifications, and you will have about a week to come to do each challenge. And on the following meeting, we're going to be discussing the challenge, and you guys can be able to present the challenge or your result or your product. And the participants will be incentivized, and those who meet the requirements will be eligible for a raffle for a grand prize of a fully paid expedition to Puerto Rico in spring break 2021. And that spring break, it's going to be according to Aspira spring break calendar, not Puerto Rico spring break. So we want you guys to don't have to be taking days off, or we're just gonna make it around that date, and so you guys can enjoy it fully and take a nice vacation. And later on, I'm gonna tell you more details about it. And invitation of others is encouraged. If you feel like you have a teacher, or you have a friend that's a teacher and you think they can benefit from the information we're going to be doing here or the things we're going to be doing here, you can feel free to invite them. You can let me know and I will share with you the information so you can forward it to that person. It doesn't have to be someone from your own school. If you have a teacher from another school and you know that they're going to be taking a nice, they're going to be benefiting from this, you can invite them to join us, and you can let me know so I can add them to the mailing list and send them all the details. And I'm going to show you a video of what we want for you guys to get from the incentive. And right now on screen, you see Nirvana. Nirvana, it's a yacht boat from the founders of Monica. And some of the part of the expedition that we want for you guys, it's gonna be some parts gonna be taken in Nirvana. And just let me show you what we have in store for you guys. I think Miss Park asked question about let me see, PD credits for participating in the academy. I'm gonna ask Miss Green because she was working on that about how the process that we're gonna have to do in order to this time be part of your PD credits. So right now I don't have the exact information, so I don't dare to say yes or no, because for now what I know is that they were working on making that possible, and I can eventually email you, letting you know a correct answer if that works for you. Okay, awesome. So what do we have in store for why we call it a cultural and scientific expedition? We want to expose you to different environments and places that we have here in Puerto Rico that you can take that with you and integrate in your classroom. For example, we want to take you to a bioluminescent bay expedition. Also, we want to expose you to the history and the different influences that make the Puerto Rican culture. And also, we want to take you to different from having aquatic activities like going paddleboarding or maybe in astronomy. Puerto Rico's evening skies are amazing, and maybe you guys can have the experience of an amazing astronomy tour and go to the national forest, and there will be an integration of different subjects in the trip. Everything is going to be paid for, the stay, the trip, and we want to give you this as a thank you for your time. And how can you be eligible to participate in the raffle? We're going to be participants for the raffle have to complete all 6 challenges. Remember, it's going to be one challenge per week, and participate in the weekly sessions. And the expected date, it's going to be spring break 2021. Crossing our fingers that there's no pandemic, another new pandemic at that time. And it's going to be 5 days and 4 nights. And it will include one sailing trip with a night on the Nirvana yacht. We're going to be taking a trip to one of Puerto Rico's Virgin Islands, if we can call it like that. There are some islands outside of Puerto Rico, and we're going to be taking a trip there in the yacht, and it's going to be an overnight trip because to go to the bioluminescent bay, it has to be a night trip. Transportation, fly, and stay are covered, and the more detailed rules of the raffle will be posted at monicaschool.com. It's going to be for one lucky teacher and one companion. The teacher can choose who they want to be their partner in this trip. Okay, now let's get to it for what we have. Good, Jennifer, you have alternatives. Awesome. Maybe we we don't know yet if we can have maybe two teachers and they can choose one companion, but for now it's just one teacher. Maybe we have opportunities for more, but for now it's just one. Okay, so characteristic of building diagnostics in Monica. Well, they can be personalized and designed by the teacher accordingly to the population of your students. With this, we want to tell you that the diagnostics here, they work like Lego pieces. You choose what you want and build it in a diagnostic. So if you know that your students maybe are performing at a certain level, you can choose exercises from a certain level to be part of that diagnostic, and you can just then you will see what can be like the lowest they are at and the highest they're at. And also this diagnostic provides several layers of the analytics. It will provide you analytics from the whole group, and also it will provide you analytics by your student and for each one of your students. And you will get instant results and alternatives to promote differentiation. So accordingly to how your students score in this diagnostics, you can see eventually how your students how can you work with your students. If you want to differentiate, and I know that you guys are always encouraged and take different ways to differentiate in your classroom, this can be an extra tool that you can have. Can we use the MAP scores to find the student levels? If your students take MAP scores, yes, you can to find the different students level. And also with this diagnostics, I encourage them more to be like short benchmark. That is how it called, yeah, benchmark, short benchmark to monitor the students how they're doing throughout the school year. They don't have to be very long tests, and you can just build them short and to check on them throughout the semester. Okay, so we are going to have, each one of us is going to have a student mock, if we can call it like that, or trial user, and that's going to be your student user for the rest of the academy. Okay, this user is going to be for you to participate in other teachers activities, if that makes sense. Like for now, if we build a practice diagnostic test and we send them, we're going to send it to the group or mock group. And in order for the teacher that sends it to have some data and see, and also for you guys to see how it works from the student mode. This user is going to be the one you're going to be taking. So I'm going to assign a user to each one of you, and you can take note of the format of the user. So I'm going to be using the assistant list that I have here, and I'm going to be given Miss Jennifer. Oh, I faded out. Okay. I'm going to be assigning a student user to each one of you. With this student user, you can participate in other teachers' activities, and that will allow all the participants to have data and also to see how it works from the student end or from the student mode. I'm going to be giving each one of you a user, and I'm going to be using the assistance list, the attending list that I have on screen. So Miss Alice, you are going to be having cyber dash student 1, and it's going to be showing on the screen. Amy, you're going to be having student number 2. And I don't know the name of this person, but it says fireflies. So you're going to be having student number 3. Miss Park is going to be using student number 4. Miss Jennifer, you're going to be student 5. Caitlin is going to be student number 6. And Katrina is going to be student number 7. And we have Kelly at student number 8. Ross is going to be student number 9. Yvonne is going to be student number 10. And I think we have someone. Oh, okay. So we have Amy here. Okay, so once again, these users are going to be for you to access the platform as a student and to participate. Amy, I'm going to write to you in the chat your user for student. All the users have the same format and password. So right now, I'm going to access Monica as a teacher, and I'm going to show you guys 2 things. One, how to build a group, and I want you guys to part of the process that we're going to be doing today. You are going to be creating also a group. It's going to be part also of the challenge. So you don't have to do it right now. You can just take note, see how I do it, and then eventually you can do it on your own. So to access Monica, remember that the URL is monicaschool.com. And I'm going to close this announcement here. I'm going to have my username and password. And for those of you that this is your first time seeing Monica, our work area or our workstation is going to be the blue button that we see on that I'm pointing with the check mark. I'm going to click there. And in order for us to send content to students or to integrate or interact with our students, we need to create groups. We don't create the groups for you because we want you to have the flexibility to mix and match with students and to build groups, not only accordingly to the sessions or periods that you receive them, but also if you have certain groups or certain amount of students that have a common common area of opportunity. For example, you have some students that from your different periods, they need to maybe have some work due and they want some extra credit. You can create a group with those students that are lacking on extra credit, and you can send them some assignments or activities targeted to them, and you can just create a group and send them that targeted assessment, and they will be receiving it. So to create a group, I'm going to click on groups, and I'm going to show you guys how you're going to be creating your trial or your mock group. I'm going to click on create group, and I'm going to assign a name to the group. In this case, for me, I'm going to call it Summer Academy Mock Group. And right now you see that on the left panel, it's kind of empty. It's that search for students, but it's empty. Yes, the username, your teacher username and password, you're going to be using to create these groups. If you don't have your teacher mode username and password, you can let me know and I can email it to you. Yes, of course. Let me take note of that. Of course, no problem. I will send it to you after we are done with the session. Okay, so I'm going to click a subject in this case from all the subjects that are available here. I'm going to call it English 7. And for you to find the mock students, they are registered under the 6th grade. Let me see, 6th grade or excuse me, they are registered under unique. The mock students are registered under unique. Remember that this session is being recorded and I'm going to share with you the link of the video. So I'm going to choose since I have 10 students or 10 teachers that I assign them a student user. I'm going to choose from student 1 to student through student 10. Student 3, 4, student 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on the top I think I have student 10. And I'm going to choose a student 11 because I'm going to take for me student 11. In this, what I am doing, well, the thing is I am adding all of you guys in one group. So every time I create something or that I want to do an example of how to send something, I'm going to send it to you and you're going to see how it works from the student point of view. So once I have chosen all the students that I want them to be part of the group, I'm going to click on create. and I'm going to confirm. And my group has been created. So here it is, my Summer Academy mock group. And if I want to see the participants, I click on see group members. And here is my list. And if I want to edit someone and add someone new to the group because someone is participating new in the academy, then I will just edit and click on edit and add the person. So let's get to the diagnostic session. I'm going to click on diagnostic test that is under the planning module. It's going to take a little bit to load because it's yes. So here is the diagnostic test point of view. Right now, this is the history of or the list of diagnostics that I have sent. If I want to see a test or a diagnostic test that I previously created, I can click on search test. And here I see the list of the tests that I have created. So let's get back to how to create it. I think most of you are teachers. Are there pre-made tests? There are not pre-made tests. We are working on a trial where a teacher builds a test and they can choose if they want to share it with other teachers or if they want to keep it private. Okay, so when you're building a diagnostic test, you have two options. You can browse for exercise or you can create your own exercise. And I'm going to show you how to create your own exercises and then how to browse for exercises. I'm going to show you both alternatives. I'm going to click on create. And for this diagnostic, I'm going to choose multiple choice exercises. And I'm going to be creating my own multiple choice exercises. I'm going to give it a name to the activity. In this case, I'm going to call it reading comprehension. And I'm gonna choose the type. In this case, it's gonna be multiple choice. And this is gonna be for my English 7 class or author's purpose. A subject, a lesson. And on this big rectangle is for me to write down the question, and then I can attach a reference link or attach an image, and then I'll choose the weight of the exercise by assigning points. So in this case, I'm going to assign one point. Then you have the alternatives to the possible answers. And you can tell the system on the letter A what is the correct answer. Then when the test is sent to students, the possible answers are going to be shuffled. And you can go from the standard amount of alternatives are 4 that range from the letter A to the D. But if you just want 3 or 2, you just click on delete response and it will be reduced to 3 possible answers. I want to show you a website that I found with reading comprehension, like resources or passages. I'm gonna copy the link and put it in the chat in case it works for you guys or it's resourceful for you. And they have several different types of passages or readings that you can use for your reading comprehension questions, or in this case, for me, it's a reading comprehension questions. And what I'm going to do is I can maybe, okay, here, Great Wall of China. The platform allows you to click the reference link. So my students can see the passage here, or if I have a passage saved in my Google Drive or a reading saved on my Google Drive, I can copy that link into the exercise. For example, I can just, this reading about the Great Wall of China, I can just copy it and paste it here in the reference link. And I can create my own questions about the Great Wall of China passage, or I can use also some suggested questions that they have here. And they also show you, they provide you with the answers. If I'm going to use a passage from my Google Drive, I'm going to show you one example that I have. Let me see my Google Drive. I'm going to show it to you quickly so you can also see that alternative. In my Google Drive, I created a folder for just those reading comprehension texts. Here it is. And I have one about the 2010 World Cup. And all I'm gonna need is the link, the shareable link. So I click on the text that I want to use, and I click on the get shareable link. Once again, I'm just doing this example for those teachers that maybe have different texts saved on their drive and they want to make it a part of their diagnostic. I'm gonna click on copy a link, and I can just paste the link on the space that I already have. Okay. Any questions about how to integrate a link? Yes, you can attach an image shape in you can, my recommendation is that where it says attach image, you just have an image with the ABCD images, because for now it doesn't allow you to attach any image to each answer. But that can be I can do the recommendation to our design and programming team to them to consider maybe the alternative of having an image to each one of the answer choices. That will be helpful too. You're welcome. I'm taking note. So I'm going to continue with the example of the Great Wall of China. I'm going to put the reference link there. And the question says, the Great Wall of China was first built as a single wall. True or false? I'm going to write down the exercise. And since this is just 2 options, I'm just going to delete one of the responses and stick with 1. And then it's false, false, false. Okay, good. So the correct answer is false. The other alternative is true. And once I have filled all the spaces, I'm just going to click on Create New Exercise on the right column. And the first exercise will be instantly saved. And all I have to do is choose what type of exercise I'm going to be doing. Once again, multiple choice. I'm going to use another question. The Great Wall of China. So B was built in a single dynasty. And I'm just going to keep on, I can just keep on adding more and more exercises. And once I am complete, sorry if I send it back. Once I have completed my test, I can either save for later, or I can send it, I can click on assign now to my students. And that is one alternative. Yes, it does grade the diagnostic for you, and it provides you with a graphic of how the group overall did, how many students met the requirements of the test, how many students failed, or how many students are in borderline. It will provide you different analytics of the test. So I'm going to show you the end results once you have made all the questions. How does it look? So here is the one that I made about the World Cup. And I see the question, I see the possible answers, and then I have the button for the link. If I click there, it's going to take me to the reading about the 2010 World Cup. And then through another exercise, here are the questions, and that's how the end result looks for a made from scratch test. Now, when I presented to you the diagnostic test, the diagnostic test option, I said that there are 2 alternatives. You can make the exercises from scratch, or you can choose exercises from a question bank that we have available. I'm going to click on Browse for Exercises. I'm going to give it a minute to load. And I'm going to enter a name for the activity. I'm going to call it benchmark October. Category is English, for as an example. The subject is going to be 7th grade. And once I choose the level, it's going to give me a list of Common Core standards, or it's going to give me a list of skills. And I can choose different skills or different Common Core standards that I want my students that I want to evaluate my students. For example, I'm going to click on figures of speech. And once when I click on figure speech, it's going to start loading a suggestion of readings with exercises. Like, for example, here you will see the name of the passage or reading, and on a parenthesis, you will see a number. In this case, it means that there are 2 questions related to figures of speech with this passage. Like here I have early summer morning. I have 6 questions that are related to that passage. If I want to see the passage, I will click on the eye and it will expand, and there it is, the passage. And if I want to just select the exercise, I'm going to click on select exercise, and using the blue bar that is part of the column in the center or in the central column, I'm just going to scroll up and down and click on select exercise. I have 3, 4, I'm going to choose all of them, 5 and 6. And I'm just going to click on assign now. I'm going to confirm it. And I'm going to fill out this profile. In the description, it's going to be choose the best answer. This one doesn't require a reference link, but also if you want to give your students a reference link or attach a document, you can add a file to be part of the resources for your students. In this case, the type of assessment is going to be a diagnostic, put some extra credit. And what it says time limit, if you want the test or the assessment to have a time limit once the student opens the test. In this case, I'm going to choose no time limit. And the due date. The due date for my students to complete these, it's going to be next Wednesday at 8 in the morning. So I'm going to choose the date, and I'm going to use the square to scroll to the right until it reaches 8 a.m. If I want to do 8:30, then on the minute option, I'm just going to scroll it till I reach 8:30. And I'm going to click on done. And then I'm going to choose to what group or groups I want to send this diagnostic. I'm going to click on assign to group. In this case, it's going to be sent to my mock summer academy group. Once I have completed all the fields, I'm going to click on send, and I'm going to confirm it. and my diagnostic has been sent to my students, or in this case, you guys. Any questions on what I just did? As a recap, I clicked on browse for exercises. Then I chose a skill that I want to diagnose my student. You can choose different skills at once if you want to. Then I chose a reading that had 6 exercises. I chose all those exercises and I clicked on assign now. Also, I'm going to share with you guys the link for our YouTube channel that it has different tutorials, and also I'm going to be following up with you guys during the week in case you have any questions, and that you can let me know. So I'm going to present to you guys with this week's challenge. You can identify 3 important skills or concepts a student should obtain at the end of the school year. For you guys, like for me, it's important that my students can know how to understand figurative language, or how can my students know about, if you are from science, I need my students to be able to understand the concepts of energy. Or you can identify 3 key concepts or 3 important skills that you want your students to meet at the end of the school year, and create a diagnostic with at least 15 questions that can help you measure those skills or concepts, and send the diagnostic to your mock or trial group. And using your student user that I just provided you at the beginning of this session, complete other teachers' diagnostics. So I encourage you guys to participate or complete someone else's diagnostic, so you can they can have also analytics, and next week we can see how the analytics are presented. Remember that to be able to send a test, you need to create a group. So I'm gonna add that to the challenge so you guys can remember that. And I will be sending you this PowerPoint in case you need to refresh or to see this week's challenge requirements. So I'm gonna add create group. Do you have any questions about the challenge we're going to be doing today? Remember that I'm going to send you, once this video is up, I'm going to send you the link of today's session so you can refresh. When do we need to complete? Before next week's session. Do we log in through our account? Oh, through the student account to take the diagnostic. Yes, good question, Miss Condos. Through the student accounts. Should a diagnostic be easier to answer if I don't know much about any? If you don't, you do what you can. Remember, it's just for other teachers to have to see how the data is presented. So if you don't know about chemistry, or if you don't know about a certain topic, don't sweat it. It's just to participate, and for the system can grade the diagnostic, and other teachers can see how the data is shown. What level are the other teachers in under? Okay, the teachers are under the unique group. Great question, Amy. Unique group. I'm gonna unique group. I can send you an email. In the email, I can include this. Remember that this is a mock group, so for the grade, it's gonna be unique too. Unique group and grade. Any other questions? So I want to thank you guys for your time today. So should our test be geared towards second grade levels? Okay, you can do the test considering how you will want a test to look for your students. So that the test can be saved in the platform, and if you want to use it at some point in the school year, you don't have to create it again. You can just take that same test and send it to your students. Yes, it's free. It's free. No subscription needed, and it's free for you. And if you want to eventually add your students, it's going to be free for your students too. Yes, Jennifer. Yes, you have a user for your teacher mode, so you can create the diagnostic, and then you have a user as a student, so you can participate in other teachers' activities. So you can log in and complete the activities as a student. Um, yeah, I can for those of you that don't remember your teacher username, I can send it to you again. Okay. Because the mock students were created under Cyber Aspira, the teachers' accounts for now are gonna appear under Cyber Aspira. Once the academy is over, the teacher's account that correspond to ALMI are gonna be automatically changed to ALMI. This is just for the summer academy purpose. So thank you guys for your time. Remember that you can email me any questions that you have. If you feel more comfortable giving me a call, I'm gonna share with you guys my phone number in the chat, so you can have it also in the emails that I have sent you. On my signature, you can find my phone number. You can just text me or give me a call. And I'll be sending you this presentation with more details for you guys in order to complete the challenge. Have a nice day and enjoy your 4th of July. Obviously, taking all precautions, guys. Take care. Health is first. You too. You're very welcome.